Welcome to Pet Style's Book of the Month. Today we're here talking with Kathy Santo and her dog, Quickie.
Quickie.
You wrote a book called Kathy Santo's Dog Sense. And it's for dog owners who don't necessarily believe that there's just one right way to train your dog.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about that.
You know, I've seen a lot of dogs who've come to me and the owner says, my dog failed dog class. And it's so sad because they went to a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter kind of method. And if they really knew who their dog was, if they understood his motivations, his work ethic, a few simple things, they'd be able to train him, and then that dog potentially wouldn't be in a shelter.
So your theory is it's not one-size-fits-all. You need to figure out what your dog's personality is before you can figure out the best way to train him or her.
Exactly. It's just like people. In your relationships with your husband, your mother, your sister, what motivates you might not motivate me. And, you know, you get that gift and you look at it from someone who you think knows you and you go, what were they thinking? The same thing with the dog. So if you go to a dog school with your dog and he won't sit for a piece of steak, that's where he gets labeled as stupid or stubborn. But maybe your dog doesn't like steak. Maybe he likes a tennis ball. Maybe he likes getting scritches. So you figure out who he is, and then the rest is easy.
How are the really quick versions of ways to find out who he or she is, the personality test?
A couple of the things you probably already know. So energy level. Is your dog laid back, or is he run around the yard all day? The energy level tells you how long your training session should be. So a high-energy dog like Quick could train for an hour, but a low-energy dog would do better with small, quiet sessions of maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
Next would be his motivation. What turns him on? Quick is turned on by everything. Food, toys, sheep, everything. So he's easy to train. But your dog might not like food. It might like a toy. It might like you. It might like just kisses and praise. The other things are emotional sensitivity and physical sensitivity, which you probably already know. Emotional sensitivity, if you move your dog's dish 5 feet to the left, does he have a heart attack? It's like Linus, remember when he went
Right. Like, don't take my blanket, don't take my bowl.
That's it. So emotional sensitivity means you're going to go a little slower with the training, introduce the ideas a little slower. And then physical sensitivity tells you ultimately when you get to that point where your dog doesn't do something and you need to give a little tug on the collar, you'll know how to give a tug that your dog won't be upset by. A physically tough dog can run into a car, make a dent, and keep running. A physically soft dog, you know, an air molecule hits them and they scream. So
Very
you
sensitive.
probably know at this point who your dog is.
Why did you decide to write the book?
I decided because I had 100 students a week and a waiting list a mile long and new calls every day, and I said, you know what, I need to spread what I do around. So write the book and people can do it at home.
And so far, the reception has been?
Wonderful. People whose dogs were this close to getting put in the shelter because they wouldn't train because they thought they were stupid or stubborn are realizing that once they unlock that dog that they have and they figure out who he is, everything falls into place.
Speaking of shelters, if you're going to find a dog at a shelter and you sort of want a certain personality type, you know, can you do that with a shelter dog?
You can. Talk to the shelter workers because they've been living with these dogs. They have an idea how energetic they are. You can find out what motivates them just by taking them out, having a cookie or a toy with you, and then seeing what motivates that dog.
So if you wanted a dog with really high energy or low energy, you would maybe ask the shelter workers, because the last thing you want to have happen is that you have to take the dog back.
Exactly. You want to match them as closely to what you want, and you bring a wish list. And I say, you know, I want a moderate energy dog, I want a medium-sized dog, and I want a dog who loves food, and then I go for it. And
Right.
sometimes you have to pass up a dog who might not be the right one for you, but chances are if you took that dog, you might wind up being unhappy with the choice.
Right. Well, I love your theory that we have to find out about personalities first, just like people, because Lord knows we can't just, you know, train every man in our life. You gotta...
My next book.
Right? Can you do that next? How to train your husband, right? Find his personality.
Another bestseller.
Exactly. What is your pet style? Last question.
My pet style is on the go, high driving, full of energy, just like the dog that I chose.
So Quick is your assistant, really?
Quick is my personal assistant. He demos what things should look like. He plays with the other dogs and make them feel comfortable. And he gives people hope that they see a crazy, nutty dog like this, and he still does obedience. So
Can you do anything for us right here?
sure, let's see. Quick, speak, 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 speak. Good boy. Speak, speak. It's a whole song.
Oh my gosh, that's the album you're going to release next, right?
Oh my God, help us.
Kathy Santo, Dog Sense, thank you so much for visiting with us. Thanks, Quick, for coming in. We appreciate it. Your melody.